Wake up! Wake up! You're a fucking miracle. What's standing in the way of you living your best life? What's standing in the way of you living your best life? Most people will reference things like relationships with other people, money, their job, or unfortunate circumstances. None of these explanations makes any difference. The only thing that's standing in the way of you living your best life is you. The only thing that's standing in the way of you living your best life is you. But if you're looking for a book that gives you the power to find everything you ever wanted, residing within you like a well of potential, waiting to be expressed, well, you're in luck. Unfuck Yourself is a handbook for the resigned and the defeated, a manifesto for real life change and unleashing your own greatness. Well, beautiful people, I want to say thanks so much for tuning in to today's episode of the ERGJ Book Club, where we take 30 minutes a day. That's right, 30 minutes a day to keep broke and stupid away. Give me just a second, guys. I got links down here. What's going on here? That's done as well. Don't need that. All right. Just wanted to make sure we have everything we need here. We're live here on Facebook and also YouTube. And this book here that we're going through is Unfuck Yourself, Get Out of Your Head and Into Your Life by Gary John Bishop. And we are now into chapter 8. We'll actually be done with this book probably by the end of this week. And at the end of today's episode, we'll put up a little poll to see what you guys may want to read next. I got 2 books for us to choose from, and we'll take a look at that in just a second. Good morning to you, Abided by Sirs in the house. Thanks so much for joining. All right, today's episode, we're into chapter 8. And chapter 8 says this: I expect nothing and accept everything. I expect nothing and accept everything. Hey, man, ERGJ Book Club. On this terrific Tuesday, I think it's May 23rd, something like that. Let's read. Chapter 8. Firstly, do not be deceived by the title of this chapter. There is something truly amazing for you to discover in the following pages. Imagine this. You've always dreamed of starting your own business, being your own boss, controlling your own schedule, and really building something you can be proud of, something you can point to as a major life accomplishment. Through a combination of hard work, determination, and solid planning, you've managed to organize your life in such a way that this dream of yours can now become a reality. Everybody put in console, organize. You've already come up with a great business idea, hired a company to create a cool logo and branding, and now it's time to get to work. Here's where the fun begins. You'll need a store, of course, and that's the first task you tackle, spending the next week driving around town, scouting locations, negotiating with real estate agents. It's not easy, but you finally find what you think is a pretty good location for a pretty good price. There's another place you really had your eye on, but you couldn't make it work within the budget. There are a few other things to take care of, like property insurance, a business license, and setting up your taxes. Even though you've yet to make a dollar, you've already had to hire an accountant to help you sort through those complicated business taxes. Oh well, on to the next project. Your store will need furniture and other necessary equipment, so you shop around to get a rate on that. Another thing off the checklist. Obviously, you'll need someone to work there too. Time to hire some employees. Check. It's all going pretty well until, boom. That deal you had fought for and ground out to secure the unique product you were planning to sell fell through, and now you have to look for alternatives. Shit. Your heart sinks and breathing shallows as you frantically search out wholesalers and importers and manufacturers, anyone who can help, and start asking for quotes. The only problem is the new prices you're being quoted are way beyond your pricing model. How can you make this thing work? You tirelessly continue searching, but keep coming up zero after zero after zero. This is fast becoming a disaster. You've already invested massive amounts of time and resources into this, and now you've hit a big fat roadblock. You're realizing now that you should have seen this coming. This is business. Stuff is bound to go wrong. The cascading stream of doubt and second guessing washes through your brain with a heavy rinse cycle of reality. Damn it, this is going too smoothly. I just knew something like this would happen. This feeling builds and grows until it starts to pull you under. Setting up a business means risking everything you've ever worked for. Is it even worth it? You've got bills, for the love of God. Now that you really think about it, you spent more time working on this project than you did at your last job. A lot more. I mean, come on. It's been bad day. It's been day and night with hardly a breathe. You have less control of your time than you ever did before. Your every thought, every second, every dollar has been geared toward this thing. Why did you ever think it was better to work for yourself? This isn't what you signed up for, is it? Maybe this whole thing was a mistake. You're starting to feel a little darker and more depressed while you start to confront the gut-churning possibility that you might lose all that investment and wind up having to crawl back to your old boss to ask if you can return to your old job. Whoa. Easy, Tiger. Before we get ahead of ourselves, let's take a step back. Everybody put also take a step back. Let's take a step back. Expecting the expected. Expecting the expected. What's really going on here? It's simple. You, like everybody else, are weighed down by expectation. It's not like you about. It's not. I'm not talking about the usual kind of everyday expectations you're aware of. It's not. It's also not like we're literally saying to ourselves, "I expect this" or "I expect that" in a conscious way. It's something that's happening just below the surface, where you'll only see it if you take time to look closely. No, I'm not. I'm talking about the ugly, undermining, hidden, and treacherous expectations that dwell in the wings and under the stage of your Broadway blockbuster. The kind of expectations you didn't even know you had until they came out of nowhere and blindsided you and sucked the air from your lungs. When you and I take on a life-changing project, we prepare from what we know. That includes items from our own experience, what we've read, heard, and imagined. We start to picture it in our minds, we research, we ask others for their opinions, and consume realms of information. We begin to assemble an idea of what this will look like and how we're going to get there. That image in our heads becomes the template from which we work and plan. What we don't see is that we're also setting up a world of hidden expectations. The cracks and crevices hidden in the foundation of our best laid plans that can kill off a potential idea before it really gets going. In our business example, our budding entrepreneur didn't expect to lose his deal for product, and while losing that deal was bad enough, the interruption to his expectation was actually the biggest blow to his aspirations. How do you know if you have hidden expectations in your life? If you have places in your life where you experience disappointment, or resentment, regret, suppression, anger, lethargy, essentially anywhere you are deflated or have some loss of your personal chipsa or any other suppressive emotion, you have these expectations. Think about what he just said for a second. These hidden expectations, anywhere you experience disappointment. Why are you disappointed? Because you had a certain expectation that wasn't met. Resentment. Why do you feel resentment? Because you had a certain expectation that wasn't met. Regret. Why do you feel regret? Because you had a certain expectation that wasn't met. Suppression or anger. Why are you angry? Because you had a certain expectation that wasn't met. Lethargy. It says that anywhere you are deflated, or have some loss of your potential personal troops or any other suppressive emotion, you have these expectations. Any place where you're just not yourself. If you look at these places long enough, you'll see the reality of that area of your life is in some way sort of a scenario you had anticipated in your mind's eye. If you are upset in your marriage, you'll see a gap between your expectations of how it was supposed to be and how it in fact is. Let me say that again. If you're upset in your marriage, if you're upset with your boss, if you're upset with your significant other, if you're upset with your boyfriend or girlfriend, if you're upset with your wife or your husband, if you are upset in your marriage, you'll see a gap between your expectations of how it was supposed to be and how it in fact is. For others, it might be your finances. For others, it might be your weight loss. For others, it could be a new job, etc. Your powerlessness is directly correlated to the gap between your hidden expectations and your reality. The greater the gap, the worse you'll actually feel. I read somewhere that the root cause of upset in marriage is unmet expectations. I think it goes on further, much further. I say the problem is expectation itself. I contend that the upsets strewn throughout your entire life are a product of thousands of unspoken or unrecognized expectations that cast a giant shadow across your life experience, causing great stress when you're trying to make life fit. with your expectations and great disappointment when life doesn't match up to them. Here's what else they do. They actually get in the way of our real lives, our real issues and items that require attention. They're like a mirage that diverts us from our genuine power and clouds our ability to take pronounced, decisive action. In short, you end up working on your expectations and having life lined up with them rather than taking the actions that will positively impact your situation. This sidetracking draws your power away from what's actually going on. To improve your life or accomplish your goal down a pathway of no power, no results, and wasted time. Can you guys feel what the author is saying here about these unmet expectations? These expectations that we put out or that we have created based upon our experience, based upon what we have seen, based upon how we were raised, these expectations of other people. Or not even necessarily other people, other things. How the interview is supposed to go in your mind. How the job is supposed to be in your mind. How your finances should be in your mind. How your weight loss should be in your mind. Wow. Can you see in your life where you have some hidden expectations? If you think about the last time you were upset or depressed or angry, is because something didn't match up, something didn't align with your expectations. Reality was different from your expectations. Reality was different from your expectation. Reality was different from your expectation. Cutting out the middleman of expectation. Everybody put in console, expect. Expect. This is good stuff. I told you guys, this book here is all about reality check. Now that we busted our problems with expectations wide open, you'll start to realize something. And that's that many of the difficulties and complications in your life are the direct result of expectations that you have or have had. We've been using an example of a business plan going wrong, but in your own life, your failed relationships, your dissatisfaction with work, and abandoned diets can be traced right back to expectation. How many times have you said to yourself, this isn't how I thought it would be? What about the last time you were angry with someone? Can you remember it? Take a moment and examine that situation, and you'll soon realize that your anger was a product of expectations. The gap between how it is and how it should have been. The gap between how it is and how it should have been. You harbor an unspoken expectation that people in your life will be agreeable. You expect them to tell the truth and follow through on any agreements you have with them. Expect, expect, expect. And when they don't match those expectations, oh boy. When people don't match your expectations. Now this is interesting to me because we live in a cancel culture now, where if someone doesn't match the expectations of somebody or some group, they want to cancel this person or cancel. That's whatever they call it. We live in a world where, hey, if you don't do what I expect you to do, then you must be toxic. Well, could it be that your expectations are toxic? Uh-oh. If you don't act how I expect you to act, and now I found this, this is both men and women. I'm not even going to say that. But if you don't act how I expect you to act, then you must be toxic. Because you're not doing what I expect you to do. You're not talking how I expect you to talk. You're not walking how I expect you to walk. As if that now we call them toxic, but they can call you a little crazy, ain't you? Like you think I'm supposed to do everything that you expect me to do as if you in control of me? That don't make much sense. How does that work? But we expect it. Now, what's even worse than when we have these expectations that are never even discussed. Here's what I expect. I ain't never told nobody what I expect, but I just expect it because for some reason I believe that when I come across somebody new, they should already know what I expect. I don't know how that works. I want you to understand this, especially when it comes to our relationships with other people. You got to teach people how to treat you. You got to teach people. You and I have to express our expectations. Here's what I expect. And if you can't clearly communicate that, then you're setting yourself up for failure. Because you didn't even let the person know, so that they can decide whether they want to live up to your expectations. How in the world could an individual live up to your expectations if they don't even know what your expectations are? That might be a good first date question or conversation. Hey, what do you expect out of a relationship when you decide to date somebody? What are some of the things that you expect? I think that could be a good first date questionnaire that you have over dinner. So you can find out, man, how does this person think? What are the things that they expect? I need to know. When people don't ask for permission, somebody, what's going on, Brother Lowry? Man, this is all great and good, Mr. Scottish man, but how in the hell do I uncover my hidden expectations? How do I uncover my hidden expectations? Easy. Pick an area in your life in which things aren't going as well as you like them to go. Maybe even somewhere in your life that sucks right now. Take a pen and a piece of paper and write out how that area was supposed to turn out. How you planned it to go. How should this have gone? You might have to use your imagination and sense of wonder to get in touch with how the future looks from back there. Get in touch with the hope and positivity of that area and where it was supposed to head. Describe it in as much detail as you possibly can. Next, on a separate piece of paper, write down how this area actually looks. Again, make this an exhaustive description, not just it sucks. Get into detail about why it is that way and what you now have to deal with. How do you feel now that this part of your life did not meet your expectations? Now, look at both pieces of paper, side by side. Your pain, your anguish, or disappointment, or whatever your thing is greater in the areas where the gap is widest between what you expected and what you actually have. In there are your hidden expectations. Do the work here until you fully uncover the expectations you have inadvertently set yourself up for. Now, how many guys, raise your hand, would say, you know what, this would be a good exercise for me to complete. This would be some good homework. When you think about whatever area it is that you have been disappointed, or did you feel some pain, or there's some anguish going on, you say, you know what, let me just try to see if this author really can help me in this particular area. For me to recognize, right? For me, everybody put also recognize. For me to recognize my own hidden expectations. This is a self-check, a self-checkup from the neck up. Right? Nothing to do with that other individual. Nothing to do with what they did or what they said or none of that. No. Let me work on me. Everybody put also work on me. Let me work on me. I need to find out what was in me that caused me to get angry. What was in me that caused me to get disappointed? Let me work on me. Good. Now look again. In what way does how you feel about this make a difference to your reality? Does it make it any better? Does it solve your issue? Hell no. It makes no positive difference whatsoever. It makes it even worse. Your problems don't derail you. Your hidden expectations do. The point here is that the expectation of how life should be doesn't do you any good. You're actually more winded by the whack your expectations took than the situation itself. And that's the deal with expectations. They blow things out of proportion and dilute your power to deal with issues effectively and powerfully. Listen, it's not like I'm saying something radically new here. The notion of letting go of expectations has been around for thousands of years, although in our culture, that is of the West, it's a practice very few engage in. Here's the coaching. Cut it out. Let go of those expectations now. It's much more powerful to come to terms with life's unpredictability and to engage with your circumstances for what they actually are than to get bogged down by your refusal to let go of unnecessary or unproductive expectations. Let me repeat that again. Here's the coaching. Everybody put it down, so cut it out. Cut it out. Let go of those expectations now. It's It's much more powerful to come to terms with life's unpredictability and to engage with your circumstances for what they actually are than to get bogged down by your refusal to let go of unnecessary or unproductive expectations. The world revolves around change, birth and death, growth and destruction, rise and fall, summer and winter. It is never the same from one day to another, no matter how much it might seem that it is. Heraclitus says this: no man ever steps in the same river twice. Our minds would love to predict and plan for everything that's going to happen, but it's simply not possible. And these expectations not only have a negative effect on our emotional state, they actually leave us less powerful than we really could be. It's so much more effective to simply take things as they present themselves. Everybody put also take things as they are. It's much more effective to simply take things as they are. And I'm telling you guys, let me just be honest. I am working on this for me personally. I mean, it's rough. I mean, it's not rough. It's tough. I mean, I don't know. It's something, but it's different. It's different when I began to say, okay, here's what it is. Now, a lot of times we hear this term, it is what it is. That's what people say. It is what it is, but very few people really evaluate what it is. It's just a term to kind of just move on and never really analyze, recognize, inspect, none of that stuff. It is what it is. Take things as they are. Take people as they are. Oprah Winfrey said, man, once somebody shows you who they are, believe them. The problem is we don't believe what we see. Say, oh, this is what they showed me, but this is what they told me. I'm going to believe what they told me, and I'm not going to believe what they showed me. Let me say that again for the people in the back. Here's the problem. They show us who they are. And we don't believe them because they tell us something different. So we say, hey, here's what they told me. I'm going to believe what they told me, and I'm not going to believe what they showed me. Uh-oh, that's a problem. Actions speak louder than words. We heard that since we were 5 years old. But for some reason, we don't believe their actions. Why? Because of our expectations. It's hard for me to believe what I'm seeing right now because I expected you to be so much different than you actually are. And you told me you were different than who you actually are. But you showed me who you are, and it's hard for me to believe that this is how you are. This is how you act. This is how you behave. This is how you talk. It's hard for me to believe that because of what I want to believe, which is my expectation. I want to believe that you're going to live up to my expectation. I want to believe that you're going to match my expectation. I want to believe that. And you told me you would match my expectations. You told me that you would live up to my expectations. But what did you show me? What did you show me? Now we can flip this around. Not just about what did they show me. Here's the better question. Here's the more slap you in the face question. What did I show them? Did I tell them, or did I speak this? Did I say this, but then I showed something different? Was my actions congruent or consistent with my talk? Did I walk the walk and talk? Did I walk it like I talk it? Did I do that? Or did I talk it to try and match their expectations, but I simply couldn't walk it because that ain't in me? I'm telling you, when we get honest with ourselves, life becomes so much easier. Let me say that again. When we get honest with ourselves, life gets much easier. Why? Because the good book tells us that the truth shall set you free. How many of you guys want to be free from expectation? Free. I'm telling you, the reason why I'm leaving my job, the reason why I'm quitting my job, I got 2 days left. Why? Because I want to be free. Free to run and play. I want to be free in every area of my life. I want to be free. Woo! It's so much more effective to simply take things as they present themselves. To live in the moment. Everybody put council, live in the moment. Like there's another moment you could live in. And solve issues and items as they arise. Than to constantly expect. It's not that I'm anti-planning. I'm most certainly am not. But the stone cold attachments to the plan and all the expectation there is a little like falling off a rowboat and continuing to row even though you have no oars or no boat under you anymore. Your plan and image of how this should have gone is no longer relevant. But you still struggle to reconcile the space between your expectations and reality. Life can be like that at times. On some occasions, you have to realize that the game has changed, sometimes dramatically so, and you need to pivot. Deal with your reality. That's a great statement for you. Deal with my reality. Go ahead and put that in the comments below. Deal with my reality. Here is the reality. I had a reality check yesterday. I reached out to somebody. I said, hey, I need to talk to you. I didn't really know I was trying to go and figure out these expectations, but I did have some expectations because of our history. I had expectations like, dang, this is what we did in the past, and here's how I want to assist now in the present, but that was the past. So I need to check in and see if how we operated in the past is still how we're going to operate now. I had some expectations. I had expectations because as a teacher and as a coach and as a trainer, as a consultant and all that stuff, people that I'm connected to, I expect the best from them. So I reached out and said, man, I got some stuff on my heart. I just want to get it out and see if I'm tripping. Right? This, and this. And I want to be able to help you like I've helped you before. But the problem is I can't help you because I don't really know what you're looking to accomplish. And I don't even know if you want my help like you did before. This is just an honest conversation I had to have. Then after I spoke my piece, they said to me, well, I appreciate the mutual respect that you have. Right now we're working on some things, and when we're ready to reveal them, we will reveal them. Now after I poured out my heart of my expectation and how I want to assist, and I just, if you need me, I'm here. Basically what I heard was, well, you're on a need to know basis. When you need to know, we'll let you know. That was a slap in my face. Not a disrespectful slap in my face. It was a reality check. Okay, well, now that I got that off my chest, now that I know I'm on a need to know basis, I don't really need to be contacting you until you get ready to contact me because I'm on a need to know basis. So when y'all need to know something, you will reach out, I guess. I got to keep on moving. I'm so glad I released my expectations. By what? By communicating and talking about it. I didn't know at the time we was going to be reading this. I didn't know at the time that I was going to be talking about this same situation today, but that happened yesterday. And what did I learn? I keep saying this. I am learning this. I talked to Brother Marketer yesterday. I have learned. Listen, I'm my brother's keeper. I'm my sister's keeper. But even in that, I cannot help my brother nor my sister unless they give me permission. That's the revelation. That's the lesson that I learned yesterday. Although I know I could help them, although I want to help them, I cannot help them unless they give me permission. And he did not give me permission yesterday. He said, you are on a need to know basis. We will let you know when you need to know, or if you ever need to know. Now that's tough to take. That is tough to deal with. It hurt, but it was reality. Are you willing to face reality? Because the truth, it set me free. I got a revelation. I don't have to carry that no more. It's not in my spirit. Hey, boom, bam. All right, I keep moving. Now I had to make some adjustments with some stuff. I said, hey, well, I don't really need to be following you like that. Why? Because I don't need to see that stuff popping up in my timeline, right, where I still have this concern about how y'all operate and where y'all want to go, when you told me, well, hey, I'm on a need to know basis. So I had to unfollow you. I don't need to see that every day. I got to unfollow both of y'all. I don't need to see that every day. Because when y'all need me, y'all will reach out to me. Therefore, I don't need to be seeing that. I'm telling you, when you get honest with yourself, when you start having honest conversations, when you check your expectations and you get a dose of reality, it begins to change your life and your relationships. I hope this helps because some of us just this helps me. I don't know what it's doing for y'all, but it's helping me. What's going on, Lucius? How you doing? Where I been, man? It's hard to do stuff on YouTube. I be trying. I'm gonna start doing more consistent stuff on YouTube. And I gotta work on get my iPad up. It's just I'm working on it, man. I'm a work in progress. Wake up! You're in the water. Stop waving your arms about and paddle to shore. Damn it! I want to read this one more time, and we'll wrap this up. Life can be like that at times. On some occasions, you have to realize that the game has changed. The game changed on me. It changed on me from where we used to be. And this is what I also said yesterday. I'm going to stay there because it's going to help somebody. Here's what I also had to say yesterday. What I also had to say during this dose of reality. The game has changed. I must pivot. Right? And it is so hard. I mean hard. It is so hard to say goodbye to yesterday. Especially when yesterday was good. It's not really hard to say goodbye when it was bad. I'm talking about when y'all had some good times. You can remember all the good times. And now the season has changed. And it's hard to say goodbye to yesterday. Because you want to have some more good times. Why not? We made money together. We had a good time together. It's been years. What has changed? I don't know what has changed, but it has changed. It's hard to say goodbye to yesterday, especially when yesterday was so good. Especially when yesterday was so good. But here's the understanding. In order for you and I to embrace our future, we have to be willing to release the past. Let me say that again. In order for you and I to embrace our future, in order for you and I to embrace what our fate, our destiny, what's ahead of us, we must be willing to release the past. And brother told me yesterday that it's time for me to release that past. I'm on a need to know basis. So I'm no longer the friend that we have been. I'm now, an associate. We ain't no issues between us, but we ain't friends like that. We're now associates. Things have changed. This is the ERGJ Book Club. We read Unfuck Yourself. Get out of your head and into your life. Hopefully we're making a difference in your life here today. Right? In the comments below, you feel free to hit the like button, share button, follow button, whatever you can do, so that other people may be interested in joining, participating. But we're going to keep doing this. We're almost done, by the way. We're almost done. You see where we are. We'll be done with this book this week. So what I'm going to do is, we're going to finish this book probably by Thursday. We might have, I don't know what I'm going to do Friday if I do anything. We're moving into Memorial Day weekend. So, Friday may be a freestyle day. I don't know. And then we're not going to pick up the next book until June. So that means that Monday will probably be off. Tuesday will be off. Wednesday, I guess we may be off as well. That's when I'm trying to get my new car. If y'all feel like, man, we really need to do something on Wednesday, I get it. I'll try to do something. I'll probably do like some affirmations or something like that. But here's the two books to decide upon, okay? So I put up a post on my Facebook page, ERGJ Enterprises, for us to vote and decide what book we're going to read next. All right. So the first book to choose from is The Wealth Choice. I mentioned last episode. Wealth Choice by Dennis Kimbrough, Success Secrets of Black Millionaires. I am a certified financial educator. I love reading things about money, but I also have another book because I think that not only are we building wealth or developing a wealthy mind to create a wealthy wallet, we're also working on self. And I think this other book could be something that'd be interesting as well. It's called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. So, if you're somebody saying, hey, between these two books, you want to go ahead and put something in the comments below about which one we should read next, Wealth Choice, right? Or The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. You guys go ahead and put that in the comments below which one you want to tackle on next. We're going to be finishing up Unfuck Yourself. And we'll do this tomorrow and the next day as well. But again, The Wealth Choice by Dennis Kimbro or The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck are the two books for us to choose from. Just put that in the comments below, whichever one y'all want to read next, and we will set that up for June, our book of the month for June, okay? I want to say thanks so much for number 2. Oh, you don't want to say, you trying to be kind. She said number 2. She said, look, I don't know. I don't know what's in this orange book, but it sure sound interesting. Oh, man, I want to say thanks so much for tuning in to today's episode, man. You guys have a plum, please, and pleasure, a beautiful, it's a terrific Tuesday, man, to go out there and triumph. I want you guys to remember this, that it takes a village. It starts with us. Let's keep building as we climb together. We all we got, beautiful people. We all we really need. And thank God, that's more than enough. We'll be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I want you to go out today and be great. I'm out.